A very good evening. We group of three want to present problem-based task 1, cyber law. And our group, my name is Tanah Masgan Analaki Balayitum 1022 and my partner name is Piravin Raj Analaki Sugumar 1018 and lastly Prem Naga Analaki Ravichandran 1030. Now let's we go to the question. So let's see the question. Figure 1 shows the common scenario that require a digital signature to be implement. So digital signature schema typically consists of 3 algorithms, which a key generation algorithm that select a private key inform and random from a set of possible key. So the algorithm output private key and corresponding public key. And the second algorithm is a signing algorithm that giving a message and private key produce a signature. And third, a signature verify a algorithm that given a message key and public key and a signature. It neither accept or reject the message claimed by authority. And by using we using a software to do this the problem based type. So we choose Melblurb for our software. So let's we go to the next one. So procedure. The first procedure is once you have a Melblurb installed on your web browser. So as I told you just now, we use Melblurb software. So as you install the Melblurb software and on your browser, follow the step below. So log in your Gmail and click the compose at the top left of the page and show me below. Example, we put here. So like this, it will show like this. So click a Melblurb icon at the top right corner of your message editor and doing this well, open a separate Melblurb email editor window which you will see at the next step. Okay, let's we go to the third procedure. As shown below, the recipient email address. The email address turn green when a recipient has activate the key in a Melblurb server. So now you may continue with encryption. So as we can see at the recipient, if we put our email, so it will turn green. If not, the email is not verified.
The next part is if the recipient hasn't generated a mail wallet key yet, the recipient email address turns red and you'll see an error message as shown below. For example, when we put it judge@gmail.com, it turns red because the recipient hasn't generated a mail wallet key yet. From the drop down box under send message label, choose which key ID to sign your email with, then click encrypt. The key ID is your digital signature. It is unique only for email address you registered when they generated a key upon setting up the MailWellup extension on your browser. If you registered multiple email address using the same browser, you see the key IDs for each email address in the drop down box. 5. After you click on encrypt, you will get this pop-out window below. Enter the password you've created for the account key ID that previously selected. Then click OK from the drop-down box under send message label. Choose which key ID to sign your email with, then click encrypt. The key ID is your digital signature. It is unique only for the email address you registered when you generated a key upon setting up the MailWellup extension on your browser. If you registered multiple email address using the same browser, you see the key IDs for each email address in the drop-down box. Okay, this is the security log. At the security log, you can check your file sent to the receiver. So at here, you can check the file that you sent to the receiver. For example, which is source Melville editor action message has been encrypted for Zain Malik from Prem Naga. Okay, the next step is reading encrypted Gmail using MailWellup. How to decrypt emails using MailWellup. So let's get started. Reading encrypted emails with MailWellup is fairly simple. With a few steps, you get to convert a keephead text to get a plain readable message. Having fun encrypting emails. Well, don't get carried away. You must also learn. First, log into your Gmail account. Click on the encrypted email from your inbox.
Okay, as demonstrated below, in the middle of the email message, click on show message. Now you'll be asked to put in your key password. So key password is a basic thing that will protect your email. That if you send any email to anyone in mail blurb, they only can access once they are linked with your mail blurb and they know the key password. So if they forget the key password, one, they cannot send the email, and two, they can't read the email if they don't know the password. So then after you type your password, then click OK. If successfully, the encrypted PGP message will so earlier will be decrypted to the actual email content. So if the email is actually encrypted, you will be redirected to the email page and you can see the email well. So this is a very simple step that you can do to give a secure document transfer to any company and as a personal use also. So as you can see, as a first step from the last step, we never ever try any difficult step that can be used to complicate our process. It's really simple and it's easy to send and easy to read. But in case you forget your password, it's really hard to send the email in a emergency situation and really hard to open when you forget your password. So it's important to note down your password in any books or any notes, or in case you forget your password but you want to recover it, it's really easy. You should connect your mailblurb with your email so that when you press on forget password, it will be redirect to your it will give an email that to change a password from mailblurb, so you can change the password at there. As a conclusion, now Ali can transfer his company file without any fear of getting stolen because mail will provide a secure transfer file to us without any charge, because mailblurb uses the open PGP standard, which is open and has been trusted as secure for many years. You can communicate not only with other mailblurb user but with anyone who uses software compatibly with PGP. So as you can see, mailblurb doesn't send message to the user who use mailblurb only. User using PGP also can read the mail that we sending from our mailblurb account. So by now you've already learned how to effortlessly in ease to secure your email using mailblurb while keeping your preferred email provider. As long as you have a mailblurb inside in your browser before you send an email, then you are secure and easy to maintain your security level of your file and your privacy as well. So next time when you want to transfer any file or any document via mail, you can use mailblurb as your transferring device to get a secure transfer. That's all from us. These are the reference that we use on our PBT. These are some of the website we use for help, and that is from all. That's it. That is from us. Thank you. A very good evening to all. We group of three are going to present problem-based task 2. Me, Premnaga Alaki Ravichandran, cut matrix 1030, and my teammates Pravindra Alaki Sugumar, cut matrix 1018, and Tanavasagan Alaki Belagidam, cut matrix 1022. Without wasting the time, let's move on to the question. So, the question is, we have to, you are appointed by Department of Technology and Computer Department in Polytechnic Mersing, Johor, as an examination unit. The examination will be around 28 June 2021 until 16 July 2021. So your role is to protect and keep data in privacy. So let's move on to question 1.
Question 1. From the above statement in figure 1, identify 4 data you need to protect and keep data in privacy might be related to the statement stated. The first answer is data contain exam question and answer. If the exam question and answer leak, there will be plagiarism between student. The second answer is student personal information. If this leaks, the student personal information such as ethnic, matrix number, their name all will be leaked. The third one is data contains student result, which is their final exam result. And the fourth is student discipline fine record. If a student has a discipline record and he haven't paid the fine, he can't sit for the examination. So if the record was hacked, he can sit for the exam if his record is gone.
Okay, let's move on to question 2. So at question 2, we are instructed to construct a table of risk assessment from your answer in question 1. That is from here. You have to construct a risk assessment from your answer. Your answer must be include identify hazard, determine person who might be at risk, assess the likelihood, severity of risk, risk level, and measure taken to reduce the risk. So we have to include additional reference such as likelihood rating, at least 1, 5, severity rating, risk level. Risk level have to be likelihood plus severity over 2, and severity rating also have to be 1 equal to lowest risk and 5 is to highest risk. So they're giving 30 marks for this question. So let's go to the answer. So this is the assessment we have done. So hazard, person that might be risk, likelihood rating, severity rating, risk level, measure taken to reduce the risk. All are included in the table. So without wasting time, let me go to the first hazard. So the first hazard is hacking. So person that might be risk is lecturer or student. Likelihood rating might be 4 because it's likely happen, but not often. And the severity rating is 5. It's really risky one, and let's give out 8 out of 10 to the risk level. So to measure to reduce the risk of hacking, we have to have a secure security system that aware of breach. So at here you can say that we have stated the hazard, the person, the likelihood, severity rating, risk level, and measure taken to reduce the risk as well. Now let's go on to the second hazard. So the second hazard is identify theft. So the person might be in risk is student. So everybody know what is identified theft. The identified theft is usually the person who steal our data but online. So the person might be risk in this situation is student. So because at our first question we have stated that student personal information. So the identified theft might steal the student information and leak it on online to so the likelihood rating must be 3 because it's likely to happen and not happen frequently, and the severity risk is probably 4, and risk level likelihood plus severity is 7 out of 10. So we are there are many ways to reduce the identified theft. Some is use strong password and add authentication step. By this we can avoid the identification theft, and we can make make a system with a secure and a very encrypt data. So the identity theft won't happen if we do this kind of step. Okay, then the next step will be explained by my teammate.
Thank you, Prem. Okay, now we go to the third hazard. Third hazard is malicious software. What is malicious software, and what the link to the data contains student result? So what is data contains student result and malicious software linked? So once the malicious software attack the server or PC, so the Trojan will destroy the data. So that might can lose all the student result and student data. So the person that might get risk is mostly officer, staff, and exam unit. So likelihood is rating is 1, likely to happen, and severity rating is 5, riskly, highest riskly, and risk level is 6 over 10. So how to reduce this risk? So we can keep our computer software up to date and use a non-administration account whenever possible. And lastly, install antivirus and spyware software to avoid this malicious code such as Trojan and virus. The last hazard is data thief. What is data thief? And it related to the statement. The statement below is a student discipline fine record. Once the data thief collect your data, so they might get the student discipline record and so on. So the person that might get it is staff, exam and exam unit, lecturer and student. So a likelihood is at least likely to happen, and severity rating is 3. It possible that a mishap and the lost some payment data. So the risk level is 4/10. So how to avoid or reduce this thing? So we can secure our network and giving limited access to employees, and lastly encrypt sensitive data on your device. So we can conclude on this, we need a good protection and very secure security system to have a secure examination. So that's from us. Thank you.